Alright boys, buckle in. Prepare your minds to be blown. When I made my last video, I didn't think that story could possibly get any more nuts than it already is. But boy was I wrong. So definitely go watch that video first if you haven't already. But if you don't, basically me and my girlfriend tried to go stay in one of those little hut style rooms on a beach in Tulum, Mexico. That beach ended up getting hit by a Category 2 hurricane. We called to try to rebook. They stonewalled us, told us basically to fuck off. We wrote a bunch of nasty Google reviews. They called back and tried to get us to delete those views, promising vouchers to allow us to come back to the hotel. In the middle of them doing that, some guy that we only know as owner thus far replied back, basically talking shit, blaming the whole thing on us. So of course we said fuck off. I wrote an even more terrible review and then made a whole damn video about it because that guy's replies to these Google reviews just made him look so crazy, and everything he said was just so ridiculous. It's a truly amazing story. I really hope you guys go watch it. But the hilarious, albeit semi-ironic conclusion to that video is, obviously it's about them trying to get us to delete Google reviews. I made a video and then they deleted their Google page. It is no longer there. You search HOTELITO AZUL in Tulum, Mexico, nothing comes up. Never underestimate the power of the internet. But leave it to you guys, the viewers. You guys wanted to know more. You didn't want this guy just to be known as owner and be able to delete his page and get away. No, you guys, through the power of the internet, actually tracked this guy down. Now, Penfold Barry here, I guess, just thought it was a good idea to go check, the other sites, the other travel sites that HOTELITO AZUL Tulum was listed on, and found the same copy-paste replies to negative reviews that this guy was using on Google reviews. But the difference is here on TripAdvisor, you have to have a name. So now we know owner at HOTELITO AZUL is named Oscar V. Now, of course, he tweeted that at me and I thought it was funny, so I made a joke. I said owner's new nickname is Oscar the Grouch because he was just a grouchy bastard. But Laylo Mo took it a step further and said, you know what? Now we know that his name's Oscar V. I'm guessing he searched Oscar V HOTELITO AZUL in like Google or whatever and found out that Oscar V's real name is Oscar Villarreal. And Oscar Villarreal turned out to be a wanted fugitive currently living at large down in Mexico. And it's funny that I questioned in my last video how somebody with like such low business acumen and possessing such a teenager-like temperament could possibly be the owner of such a resort. Well, we found out. Oscar Villarreal is actually known as the infamous Cleveland swindler who actually swindled millions of dollars from Cleveland's rich to, guess what, build HOTELITO AZUL in Tulum, Mexico. You cannot make this shit up, ladies and gentlemen. This crazy bastard we met through Google reviews is actually a crazy bastard. It's very similar to part 1 of this video series. This video is going to be all about our boy Oscar because of course you can type his name into Google and a bunch of news articles come up telling us all about this guy. And apparently the most recent thing in 2017, he got shot. Now I know that's a lot to take in, so we're going to go through this together. Once again, shout out to y'all to finding all this stuff out. After I made my video, I was kind of done. But let's go. The article is entitled Infamous Cleveland Swindler Oscar Villarreal Shot in the Back in Mexico Amid Bizarre Beachfront Property Battles. Which is funny because we're here because I too had a beachfront property battle with this guy. The infamous Cleveland swindler, Oscar Villarreal, who fled to Mexico from Gates Mills in late 2013 to escape the probings of the Securities and Exchange Commissions, was shot at his home in Tulum last week. Villarreal is known locally for luring more than 50 of Northeast Ohio's most powerful corporate leaders into phony investments several years ago. He used that money to goof off on E-Trade and live large, and he was considered the cream of Cleveland's millennial crop, and in that capacity had managed to integrate himself among the Union Club elite. Okay, that's actually fucking hilarious. Villarreal ultimately paid back more than $12 million of the funds he obtained, resolving issues with investors to their mutual satisfaction, per Villarreal's lawyer, but the punitive, I'm guessing that means Wonder Kid, was still wanted on 21 federal counts. These days, Villarreal has been allegedly party to much more violent crimes. Fuck, I knew this guy was trying to get us back down to Mexico to kidnap us. Scene, being this news site, was contacted in December by a hotel owner in Tulum, the Caribbean coastal town roughly 2 hours south of Cancun. It was alleged that Villarreal and his father were building a new hotel there by improper means. The hotel we were about to go to. In addition to the allegedly corrupt acquisition of land permits, Villarreal was thought to have orchestrated the violent seizure of 2 beach hotels. Vandals and thugs armed with guns and machetes threw out the occupants and the employees of the hotel on December 8th and seized the contiguous hotel later that month. The corruption and violence preceding the Tulum real estate market was chronicled in Newsweek at about that time. Now, we're obviously going to go check out a lot of these other articles too, but let's just go ahead and get through this. It is not known who shot Villarreal last Thursday or whether or not his assailant intended to kill him or merely send a message. The local paper Por Esto called the attack an execution attempt and said that the gunmen indeed were attempting to assassinate Villarreal. Villarreal, who survives, only sustained a bullet wound to the back. This motherfucker was running away. His hotel, the Hotelito Azul, is now in operation. The hotel owner wrote Monday that Villarreal is making a disaster with his dishonest attitude, always ready to cheat people. I know, trust me, we know. We have a long list of people that would like to see him dead. The validation that comes from knowing that we weren't the only ones this dude tried to cheat. A spokesman for the U.S. Department of Justice said he had no comment on this development. As of last year, the DOJ was aware of Villarreal's location and had been attempting to coordinate his extradition. So he's trying to get us down into Mexico, but the boys in blue are trying to get this dude up in the States. All right, I don't know about you guys, but my mind is completely blown. My dude's a fugitive living at large down in Mexico, running from 21 federal counts. And he's getting shot by motherfuckers because he stole goddamn property to make this hotel. I mean, that explains so much. It's also scary as shit. I'm so glad we didn't go down there. Goddamn, we just avoided the biggest train wreck ever. But we definitely need to go find out more about Mr. Oscar Villarreal. Let's go see how he got his millions. Oh, what is going on with his head? Oh, Oscar Villarreal swindled Cleveland's rich out of millions, and then he disappeared. What an article title. I'm surprised there's not a movie about this guy. Probably because they haven't got the ending yet. He's still at large. It'll be amazing one day when we find an article that he got caught. All right, let's find out more about this guy. All right, so basically they started with saying that philanthropists, the bad kind, only give because it helps their prestige and helps them look cool. But then eventually they get down here to Oscar Villarreal, and they write, Oscar Villarreal may have, in the end, come to grasp philanthropy, the bad sort, but never as a philanthropist. Villarreal was the ambitious young Mexican swindler who seduced 51 of Cleveland's most powerful corporate leaders into forking over $18 million between 2009 and 2013. In order to get their money, he first had to integrate himself among them. He had to build his brand. In July 2010, at the tender age of 26, Villarreal was elected to the Cleveland Institute of Music's Board of Trustees. And when his term expired 3 years later, the leadership chose not to ask him back. It turned out he wasn't what they were looking for. He never showed up to meetings, for example. He wasn't engaged. He didn't, admitted one CIM staffer, seem to care all that much about the organization. Was Villarreal, the alleged piano enthusiast, not quite hip to the social sanctity of the board membership? Was he not mindful of the rarity as a 20-something and a foreigner of his own? For a man who worked so tirelessly to curate his image after the fashion of the wealthy investors he lured to his phony funds, the oversight was a substantial one. How could Oscar Villarreal, the best exotic wonderkind Ponzi schemer, I guess they did mean wonderkind, have been expected to learn and ape the proper ways to give money when he was so focused from 2009 to 2013 on taking it away? And the corollary, of course, how could the cream of Cleveland's philanthropic crop, we're talking Sherwin-Williams chairman and CEO Chris Connor, there was nothing higher on the food chain, says one Villarreal associate, have been taken for such a ride? Okay, that'd be honest, that's kind of impressive. Just so we're all not on pins and needles, Villarreal is at large in Mexico. That's what authorities are saying anyway. He has been living there since late 2013 when he booked it south to escape the heat of the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, investigation and the looming era of antsy investors who were beginning to wonder where their money had gone. The various chairmen and managing partners suddenly seemed to take exception to the fact that for the duration of the investments with Villarreal, they hadn't been afforded the courtesy of regular paperwork. Said one early investor to the FBI investigator, Villarreal was the poorest provider of information you will ever meet. That's totally believable. Now we understand why that first lady was sent to stonewall us. The nimble spokesman, of course, for the Department of Justice wouldn't specify how at large Villarreal remains when he pressed earlier this month. He told us that law enforcement was actively looking for Villarreal back in March, a month after he no-showed for his arraignment in Cuyahoga County, and the second warrant had been issued for his arrest. A couple weeks ago, the same beleaguered spokesman said only that Villarreal remained at large and apologized that he couldn't say more. Man, my dude got away with it. He got away with it. When or if he's found, Villarreal will be extradited to the United States to stand trial for his misdeeds. Though his Tucker Ellis attorney, John McAfee, has tried to soften the blow by reminding the reporters that Villarreal paid back investors $12 million plus, but his client is nonetheless wanted on 21 federal counts, 19 of which explore the gaudiest frontiers of frauds and swindles. In January of this year, the latest indictment pinged Villarreal for 2 additional tax falsification charges. We'll include the details mostly for comedic value. In 2019, Villarreal reported about $200,000 of income, even though he made close to $5 million. And in 2010, he said he made $316,000 when he actually hauled in nearly $3.5 million. My dude's just a fraud down to his bones. Despite the alleged manhunt down Mexico way, Villarreal's online presence remains as active and self-aggrandizing as ever. Oh my God, that's too perfect. 2 primitive websites and a sporadically updated Twitter feed continue to churn out, by bot or human hand unknown, the same misreflective web of lies and misrepresentations he spun for potential investors 6 years ago. Oh my God. Oh, they got his tweets. Oscar Villarreal has an invaluable history of international business success. His account, Oscar Villarreal, or whatever, tweeted in March, Oscar Villarreal is on the cutting edge of high-tech oil and drilling services, the same account tweeted weeks earlier. This guy is practiced in this. Oscar Villarreal is a graduate of Harvard Business School in a specialized business program. Hashtag Oscar Villarreal, hashtag education, was Oscar's nugget of publicity on March 31st. That is, I want that fucking on a t-shirt. I want to remember. I'm forgetting that framed. That's amazing. The most recent entry on his WordPress vanity site, Oscar Villarreal, International Business Beat, dated March 26, 2015, kicks off with his logjam. Oscar Villarreal is an international business expert. He is a master of the international business scene. He has a special mix of right background and specific acumen that produces success. He has had great success in the arena of international business over the year, and at this time, he operates in a number of industries. Oh my God. The only industry in which he appears to be operating, though, apart from search engine optimization, is con artistry. I don't know, I'm just imagining all you guys are dying at this self-delusion. It's so on point. It fits his character that he was 100% himself in those reviews. These guys at Scene went ahead to just destroy my dude and cut up every lie that's in that WordPress. He obviously never went to Harvard, and they confirmed that with Harvard Business School, that he's never been an alumni there, and the program that he might have been in was way longer, and there would have been some kind of record. So he definitely just lying about all this stuff. And then even right here, no one obviously has been able to get in touch with Oscar Villarreal for the purpose of reporting this wild tale. Well, dudes, we met him, we talked to him. No one's got direct quotes. Oh, we got plenty. Plus, very few people who interacted with Villarreal are forthcoming with reporters on or off the record. Well, shit, I will be. Fucking Scene, hit me up. The fact that most of his investors are represented by extremely powerful attorneys, or they themselves extremely powerful attorneys, is another can of worms. So the only thing they can confirm really is they write on here is that he really was a pianist. So, well, actually, never mind. They write, well, not necessarily. No one I spoke with has ever actually seen or heard him play. My dude's faking being able to play piano. Nothing about this guy is real. Gates Mills Police Chief Greg Michinellos, who said he remembered nothing unusual, nothing unword, said Oscar's stay in Gates Mills never had a haunting pipes of an organ or the crashing chords of a Steinway as he made his evening rounds. So even the cops there are like, we never heard him play fucking piano. We know he played fast and loose with the truth in the case of his fabricated Mexican funds. In the letters and reports in the meetings with investors, the SEC wrote in the August 2014 filing, virtually everything Villarreal told investors was a lie. And now what I'm trying to show is that his personal details may have been equally bogus. My dude's just a fraud on all accounts. He also claimed he gave $100,000 away in contributions to scholarships and shit like that, but his tax records, which is, obviously where you report that stuff, for the benefits, he only recorded $1,000 contribution. Dude, this guy just fabricates everything. All right, and this article kind of goes on for forever. That goes into, how he actually met all these high corporate people and all these elite in Cleveland, to the entire SEC investigation with all the actual exact amounts and the funds and all this stuff. I'll leave it to you guys. You guys can go down in the description. I'll leave those links there, and you guys can give the rest of this thing a read. To be honest, I just wanted to get on here and share in the shock with you guys that this crazy dude dude from down in Tulum, Mexico, ended up actually being this worldwide international criminal. Who would have fucking thought that was even possible? You should have seen me this morning. I woke up at like 8 o'clock to that guy tweeting that shit at me, and I literally was just like mind blown. I couldn't even go back to sleep. I stood up and read this shit for like 2 hours, and then instantly went to go tell Danielle, and she didn't even care. She was like, oh, okay, I went back to sleep. I was like, you don't understand. This guy's like international man of crime, the fucking con artist guy from Lost. Like, he's just out here doing the most, just scamming fucking everyone. And the fact that we almost got taken for that ride too was amazing. So yeah, no, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you appreciate it as much as I do, just the pure coincidence and pure happenstance of running into somebody like this. It's absolutely insane. I hope you found it as entertaining as I did. Oscar Villarreal, man, you are probably the most interesting person I'll run into this year. Congrats. Also want to give a real quick shout out here at the end of this video to my Twitch channel. I've been over there grinding, streaming Warzone, playing Ghost of Tsushima and a whole bunch of other different stuff. But really, I want to get more of you guys over there to come check it out, because I feel like if you like my content and you like what we do over there, because all we ever do is play Warzone with Phil on and talk to a bunch of crazy people, and it's mad fun. I was even getting dubs with the weapon, which I know you guys are all big fans of. So if you guys want to come see us play over there, come check it out. Twitch.tv/KOSDFF. I'll probably be live tonight. I'm probably live right now. So I'll see you there. Peace. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank God I'm still alive.
Oh! Kill the guy self-resing! Oh, fuck, bro. Oh! What?
Is that a dub? Is that a dub, boys?
That was a
Is
dub!
That may have been mine for.
That's how we do things.